movie on Netflix. It was a romantic movie. It was called Voicemails from Isabel, right? So it's about this girl who has a sister, but the sister has a sickness, so she can't get out of the house and she has to stay at home. She has to be homeschooled and everything of that sort. So the other sister, on the other hand, has a life. She's able to do things. She's able to go to school. She's able to go to work, have dates, go on dates, date guys. So she's going through these different life transitions, but her sister, on the other hand, is stuck at home and she has to stay there because of medical conditions. So she's basically paralyzed. So she lives her life vicariously through the other sister. And it's such a beautiful um, relationship to watch. So now the sister is working in this, or she is studying in the school of chefs, right? And the chef is so mean. He's like so mean to everybody. And so she sticks it out. So she narrates everything to her sister, right? She tells her about the details of her day. So they talk on the phone for minutes or even hours. So even when she's going out on dates, she tells her sister, I'm going out on a date with so and so. And then sometimes she's like, oh, not that guy who was like maybe had a pink. Oh, there was this one guy who she went on a date with. He had a pink eye. And it was so disgusting. It wasn't even a pink eye. It looked orange, like it looked like a an orange eye. So he kept touching it, right? She goes on these awkward dates and it's so interesting. What's interesting about it is the fact that she tells her sister everything, she narrates everything, and her sister is like, I can't believe it. Like she's always like amazed about her experiences because she can't experience these things herself because she has the sickness and she has to stay at home. And so her sister on the phone this one time tells her that she's going to have this operation, right? That's going to replace, I think it was a lung. So that's why she wasn't able to get out of the house. So she's going to have this operation. And of course, operations are a life and death situation. So she's the younger sister. I would think that she was in her teen years. So she lived her entire life inside the house, right? And her sister was able to experience life and explore different things. And so anyway, so she goes to school now. Of course, it's just another day. Oh, actually, she's on a date with this guy, and he is just talking about himself. He's so self-absorbed. Anyway, so she gets a phone call, actually a voicemail from her mother telling her that she needs to come back home immediately because something's happened. Here's the panic in her mom's voice that something's happened, like it's something horrible. So she leaves the dates. She doesn't even say goodbye. So she leaves the dates and she takes the first flight home and she goes to the hospital. So when her mother breaks the news to her, she's like, what's her sister's name? Isabel. Yes, it's Isabel. I forgot who the main character, well, the main character is actually. So when her mother breaks the news to her, it's like she can't, like she's not internalizing what her mother's saying. Like she hears the words, but she keeps asking, but where is she? What happened? And I cried in that scene. It was so emotional. Oh my God. So she walks, like she doesn't hear her mom, but there's like a panic. So she starts walking towards her room. And of course, she wouldn't know where her room is because she's there for the first time, right? Since her sister's doing the operation, it was a big operation. So that's when she collapses midway through the hospital corridors. Right. And she has to now go back to work and she has to internalize that her sister's not there anymore. And for the first time, her when she gets in her room back to school, it's like something's just different in the atmosphere, right? And she So she doesn't moan at that time. She doesn't moan the death of her sister in like immediately. She just continues. It's like now she's numb to everything. She continues to go to school with this mean chef and everything of that sort. And so now what she does is she phones her sister like randomly one day after work to sort of narrate her horrible day at work. It's another horrible day at school or work because they are auditioning to be like the chef's top chef, leading chef next to him or whatever, who is so horrible to them. And so she calls her sister and she starts talking. So now her sister's number after her death was diverted. I don't know how that happens anyway in the movie. That's how it is, to this guy. So he inherits her sister's number. So he starts listening to her. Like he doesn't interrupt her because she immediately, when the person on the other end of the phone picks up, she just starts talking, and she has the most amazing personality. She is so funny and witty, and uh so this guy is in bed with another girl. So uh, as he's listening to this voicemail, right? This phone call. So it's a funny scene. Anyway, so this guy continues to listen to her voice, to like her voicemails, right? Because she's sending them. It's like a WhatsApp thing, but it's not really that. It's like a phone call where it's like it. I think it records the phone call, so he's able to save all those voicemails, right? So I guess it's her way of healing from the trauma of like her sister not being there, like these phone calls. She has the spots that she goes to after work, like it's a bench where she watches the city, like the view of the city. So she sits in this bench this one time, and this guy flew to her, unbeknownst to her, as he was listening to these voicemails, right? And he flies to her city, and he has this phone, right? He wants to meet this girl who's been sending these voicemails, and she sounds like such an amazing person. He's internalizing her process and what she shares through these voicemails, right? And he falls in love, of typical romantic movies. So he flies there. As this girl's making this phone call this one time, she's like, as I'm sitting over, like sitting in this bench, she starts to like tell her sister what it would feel like if she was to fall in love with someone. And it would be because she's been on these multiple dates, right? And these guys have been so horrible. um and then now she sits on this bench and tells her sister, what if Isabel, he would sit next to me and we would lock eyes. Typical romantic movies, right? But it's so amazing. And that girl is such an amazing actress. So this guy hears this voicemail, and he goes to this bench, this same exact location where she's at, right? And he sits right next to her. It's such an awkward moment because when he gets there, it's about to get dark, and she's eating something. So when he gets there, he sits next to her. It's like a secluded spot, but it looks kind of safe, but it gets kind of weird because now he's there, and it's like almost dark, and it's just a random thing. So anyway, they have like a short conversation, and he wants to tell her on this, like he's been getting the voicemails that she's been sending to her sister because he inherited the number right after his sister's death. And he somehow wanted to meet her because he was falling in love with her right through these voicemails. It's so beautiful. My girlies who have read romantic novels and everything of that sort, because when I was growing up I read a lot of romantic novels, so you would be hooked. So anyway, so basically they develop a relationship. This guy is here for work for 2 weeks. They go on these different tours where he wants to explore like the city and everything of that sort. So this one scene where they were in the bus, and this guy, or this kid should I say, was supposed to take them on this tour, and he was supposed to like tell them the different locations that they would meet along the journey, right? It's supposed to be hilarious, and you're supposed to have like a sense of humor as you're doing this. He kind of fumbles the job and he quits on the spot. So this guy now has to take over that whole situation, like kind of rescue the situation, and he has to be like the knight in shining armor sort of thing. So anyway, it's like a really cool fun scene there. So he makes everyone laugh, and eventually, like the bus driver's like, "Hey, you need to get off. I'm taking the mic." So and he's like, "Oh, but this is supposed to be a fun, tour, whatever on the bus." So anyway, long story short, they kiss. It's like a romantic kiss, and everybody's watching, right? But what really amazes me about this whole storyline is how um her sister dying, there was what that's part of it. But when she was doing like it was like a speech at the funeral, if I can say, like, but she was just talking about her sister, and she was saying not even one day did her sister complain when she was at home stuck with this sickness, right? And she couldn't go anywhere. And it just made me realize how much we complain about everything, right? And it made me realize how much we have to value in this life, right? There's so many places where we find that there's people without water, or people without their needs being met, or in any case, someone like in that movie who's stuck at home and who has a sickness and they can't really go anywhere or do the things that they love. She was basically bound in the house. Well, that's how it's narrated in the movie. So I'm thinking maybe she would have contacted germs or whatever that would have infected her and she would have died on the spot. I don't know. But in that movie, like, she was just stuck at home because she has the sickness and she couldn't do anything that she wanted or explore her desires and the things that she wanted to do with her life, right? And that's one of the things that stuck up for me in the movie, besides the whole romantic thing. And oh, also the different types of love that we experience in this life that we often take for granted. It wasn't even anything romantic, like it was based on the sister having like a, what is it called? There's different names for it. There's platonic, whatever, like the different definitions of the kinds of love that we are going to experience in this life, right? It doesn't always have to be romantic. It can be a love that you experience from friends. It can be a love that you experience from your loved ones, right? And it can be even a love that you experience with strangers. And there's that quotes that we often use when we're trying to seem all holier than thou and upright on social media, that says it's not about the people will always remember you for the way that you made them feel, right? And we often put that on our social medias, but how many times do we actually practice that? How many times are we actually kind to other people with the people that we encounter on a day-to-day basis? So that just made me, and also how, when the truth came out, of course the truth had to come out that the guy was actually receiving the voicemails or the voice notes. And it came out in an ugly way because he was untruthful from the beginning of that relationship, right? It's even the little things that made me think about the little things that destroy relationships, right? It doesn't have to be the bigger things, but it's really the little things, the communication, the left out little truths, you know that we neglect in our relationships. And also it just made me think about how wonderful their relationship was with her sister, right? It was so heartwarming also to see her follow her path. Like, she wasn't living vicariously through the pain anymore, but she made a decision to let go. And as the movie was ending, she did her last voicemail, or her last voice note, which we call it these days. And she was like, "Hey, Isabel, it's me. So I just thought I should do this last voicemail or whatever, because now she was finding her feet, and she had actually pursued her dreams. Like, she got her minibus, she quit that horrible job. Oh, that chef was so mean. He was just horrible. And she said, "Hey, who's with me?" And this girl came on board with her, and they started a little small bus business where it was like booming. It wasn't ultimately booming, but she was, it actually, at first, it didn't work out at all. She tried to serve a customer some sort of dessert, and she tried to, you know, plug one of the machines, and everything went on fire. So it was just interesting to see her journey, and also her healing process is just amazing. And also, of course, it ended happily ever after, because after she got on her feet, the guy had to actually own up to his mistakes. And in the end, they ended up, oh, he asked for a sign because he made a phone call to Isabel. And the sign, as the girl was getting off this last phone call, this last voicemail, her song that her and her sister used to dance to when they set some cookies on fire in the kitchen, came on, and it was just beautiful. And there was her sister's silhouette as the movie was. It was gorgeous. So, anyway, this is my movie review for today, amongst other movie reviews that I'm going to do. I hope that this was interesting because it was for me. And I hope you watch this movie because it was absolutely amazing for my romantic girlies, or even males, because I know you guys like to cry sometimes secretly to movies. Yes. I'll see you guys in the next one. And until then, peace.